All right, let's talk about how to completely transform your study habits. I mean, really turn those long, frustrating hours into short, super effective, and powerful learning sessions. Ready? Let's dive in.
So, does this sound familiar? You spend hours studying, you read every single page, but then the test comes and it feels like all that information just vanished. Poof. Well, you're definitely not alone. And the good news, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter.
And that really is the big secret. You know, there are actual methods, real techniques that can unlock your brain's ability to learn and remember stuff. It's kind of like getting a cheat code for school, and today, I'm going to give you that code.
Okay, first up, let's tackle the biggest time sink of them all, the textbook. So many of us treat it like a novel, right? Reading from page 1 all the way to the end. We're going to stop that right now. Instead, we're going to turn you into a textbook detective.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. You've got the common mistake over here, just passively reading, your eyes glazing over, highlighting pretty much everything. We've all been there. But then you have the pro method. This is an active, strategic approach. You actually know what you're looking for before you even read a single word.
So this detective method has 3 super simple steps. First, you're going to start at the end. And yeah, I know that sounds weird, but I'll explain why in a second. Second, you scan the chapter to create a mental map. And then, only then, do you actually start to read. But you're going to do it in a totally new way. All right, step 1, the 5-minute preview. Seriously, this is the secret weapon. Before you read a single paragraph of the chapter, flip all the way to the end. Read the summary that gives you the main points. Scan the key vocabulary words, just to get your brain ready. And most important of all, read the review questions. It's literally like getting the test questions ahead of time. Now you know exactly what information you need to hunt for.
Step 2 is all about creating your mental map. This should only take you like 2 or 3 minutes. Just scan the chapter. Look at the big headings and subheadings, read the captions under pictures and charts. You know, sometimes they explain things way better than the actual text. And definitely pay attention to anything in bold or italics. The author is basically shouting at you, hey, this part is important.
Okay, now you're ready to read, but you're going to do it differently. Just read one small section at a time, from one heading to the next. Then, and this is key, stop, look away from the book, and just ask yourself, okay, what did I just read? Try to say it out loud in your own words. If you can't, no big deal, just reread that little section. I'm telling you, this one habit is an absolute game changer for remembering stuff. All right, moving on. Let's talk about unlocking your lecture notes. Think about it this way. If the textbook is the game guide, your teacher's lecture, that's the ultimate walkthrough. It tells you exactly what's going to be on the test. So your notes, they're basically a treasure map. And again, you can see the huge difference in approach. The mistake pretty much everyone makes is you take the notes, you shove them in a binder, and you completely forget they exist until you're cramming the night before the test. The pro method, though, is all about making those notes an active tool that you use for just a few minutes every single day.
And here it is, the golden rule for memory. You absolutely have to review your notes within 24 hours. See, our brains are literally designed to forget things, to save space. But this one simple act, it interrupts what scientists call the forgetting curve. It tells your brain, hey, this is important, keep it, and locks that info into your long-term memory.
And get this, it only takes about 15 minutes. That's it. The same day you take the notes, just give them a quick look over. Tidy up any scribbles you can't read, fill in any little gaps you remember the teacher mentioning, and this is huge. Highlight or put a star next to anything the teacher repeated or actually wrote on the board. Those are just massive clues about what's going to be on the exam.
Want a real power move? As you're doing that daily review, grab your textbook and find where that same topic is covered. Then, just write the page number in the margin of your notes. Boom! Now your notes and your textbook are totally linked up, creating this powerful, interconnected study guide just for you.
Okay, on to our third area, the assigned articles or specific readings. You know the ones. These are a little different from a whole textbook chapter, so they need their own strategy.
The big mistake here is just reading to get it done. You're just trying to check a box on your to-do list. The pro method, on the other hand, is all about having a purpose. You have to know what your mission is before you even start reading.
So, before you read, always ask yourself this one simple question. Why did my teacher assign this? Seriously, why this specific article? What are they hoping you'll get out of it? Just thinking about that for a second focuses your brain and makes your reading 10 times more efficient.
So, what could that mission be? Well, maybe you're supposed to find answers for a worksheet. If that's the case,
Read the questions first. That's a no-brainer. Or maybe you're prepping for a class discussion. Then your mission is to form an opinion and find a good quote to back it up. See? Knowing your mission is everything.
And here's another super simple but powerful tip. Always, always read with a pencil in your hand. Your goal isn't just to read, it's to interact with the text. Underline stuff that connects to your mission. Circle words you don't know so you can look them up later. Scribble questions or quick thoughts in the margins. This forces your brain to stay active and engaged instead of just passively scanning the page.
Okay, we've covered a lot of different techniques. But how do you actually put all this into practice without feeling totally overwhelmed? Well, let's break it down into a simple, concrete, weekly plan.
Just look at how manageable this is. This isn't about adding hours of extra work to your week. Not at all. It's about small, consistent actions. Like Monday, you take 15 minutes to review your notes from history and science. Tuesday, you use the PRO method on that textbook chapter. And then Friday, you do a quick 20-minute review of all your notes from the week. That's it. This is how you build real mastery.
And a payoff? Oh, it's huge. I know it might feel like a little more effort at the beginning, but doing this consistent, smart work saves you from that awful, stressful all-night cram session right before a big test. Why? Because you've been building up your knowledge bit by bit all along.
So, I want to leave you with this question. Please don't try to do all of this at once. You'll just get burned out. Instead, just pick one thing we talked about today. Maybe it's the 5-minute textbook preview, or maybe it's the 24-hour note review. Just pick one and give it a try this week. So, what's the first PRO method you're going to try?